Hello, model railroad fans. Welcome to Vintage Road and Rail. And in today's video, I thought we would take a look at this Alco Century 430 diesel locomotive by Tyco. And it is a USA Express. And I actually got this from someone I know on Facebook, sold this to me. But when I first got it, it was a little bit of a mystery, and we're going to go over that here in just a second. But first, let's kind of go over why it is I bought this locomotive beyond, not really needing an excuse to buy a Tyco C430. But anyway, I got this one for the drive that's found in this. A lot of your 430s will have or any of your later Tycos from the late 70s and 80s will have your power torque drive. Well, I wanted a MU2 drive. And so when he showed me pictures of this particular locomotive, you can see here it has the older MU2 drive. And so I asked him how much he wanted for it, and he gave me a price, and I bought it, and it came in the mail a few days later. But this turned out to be a bit of a mystery to me because, okay, so it had the MU2 drive, it had handrails, and it said USA Express, and it was this red, white, and blue coloring, so I thought, I guess maybe it was a Spirit of 76 locomotive that I hadn't seen before. So I pulled out every one of my catalogs. I've got all of them from 1970 through 1987, I think. Looked through every catalog and didn't see it anywhere in there. And so went online and started doing a search. And when I would see USA Express, all the boxes for the train sets were later. In fact, in doing a little bit of research, the USA Express train set was released in 1988 and sold again in 1989 in I think 101 or 102 piece set, and that was it. And it had a power torque drive. So the conclusion I came to after talking to a friend of mine was that someone had basically upgraded this locomotive. They put in the older MU2 drives, which is more reliable than the power torque, and they went to the trouble of putting the handrails on it because the one that was released in 88 did not have handrails, or at least not as near as I could tell. And I don't remember what the original number is here, but it looks like, now I mean, it's not beyond belief that it's wore off, but because these two numbers are off on both sides, I'm thinking that someone scratched that off to give it its own number. I think it was 4301 is what it was, but I won't swear to that because this does look kind of like a 4, and that looks like a 1. So anyway, let's do a little walk around this locomotive, and then we'll see if it runs. The person I got it from said it tries to run, but he wasn't sure if it was really going to be able to do so. So anyway, so this is it, the USA Express. Overall, looks to be in really good shape, except, we've got some of this decal coming off here. But it's in nice red, white, and blue coloring. And like I said, someone did go to the trouble of putting handrails on here and painted them. They are white all the way across. And we do have plastic glazing for the windows. And if we come around to the front, still got our horn hook coupler. And it says USA Express there on the front, and our handrail is 100% intact. And here's our number boards, and yeah, it looks like they were, see how it says 30? Oop, you can't see nothing. See how it says 30 right here? It should have, I believe 4301, but someone has scratched that off. And I keep getting out of camera, sorry about that. And here's our headlights. But if I move this up closer, you can see where it just says 30. And here's our horns, they're intact. And no real surprises over on this side, pretty much identical to the other side. And then we will flip around to the back, and it's got an RI there. I'm not real sure what that's for, beyond potentially Rhode Island. And our horn hook coupler is there, and our handrail is 100% intact. In fact, it's metal instead of plastic. And we've got some molded in detail right here. So on our roof, as we noted earlier, our horn is present, and we've got like a smoke exhaust stack here for your diesel engine, and we got some cooling vents here. And I had always thought that this was part of the locomotive, but from what I'm understanding, this is just a little nub left over from the injection process. And if we flip it around to the bottom, we can see here, made by Tyco, and we got our MU2 drive here, and then our back wheel pickups. It only picks up on this side and this side. And that's pretty much the walk around for this locomotive. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the track real quick. Alright, so here we are on the track. So let's give it some power and let's see how it runs. Well, it's moving, but it is very loud. So I'm not sure why it's so loud. See if it smooths out a bit. Yeah, it is really loud. Well, alright, headlight's not working. But it seems to smooth out when we put it at some higher speeds, which is kind of odd. But if I slow it down, let's see. Oh, there it goes again. Alright, let's stop that there. I don't want to risk blowing anything up because I really wanted that drive out of this locomotive. So anyway, so that is the USA Express Tyco C430 diesel locomotive. Looks to be, like I said, in pretty good shape. It just looks like it's going to need a little bit of attention on that motor. So I'll have to take a closer look at that, but that's going to be a bit more challenging considering that this is riveted on, whereas the power torque would have just 3 screws and you could pop that off and take a look. Let me get back in focus here. I'm on focus. So anyway, that's a look at this USA Express. Hopefully you should see this again in the near future, as I would like to go ahead and give this a nice restoration. But if you enjoyed taking a look at this video, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my upcoming videos, hit that notification bell. And if you have this locomotive, or maybe even the whole train set that was put out in 88 or 89, let me know about it in the comments and tell me what you think. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me. You all take care, and happy model railroading. We'll catch you next time.